experience. When I started, it was 1 year until I hired the first sales lady. So I used to open the store in the morning. I used to close the store
By
in the
yourself?
night by myself, close the store at the night. I used to clean the store. I used to be the cashier. I used to be the salesman. I used to be the warehouse keeper. I used to be the delivery driver in the car, in the trunk of the car, going to the warehouse in Sharjah, putting the items there, bringing them, ironing them myself, and putting them on the shelves. So, you will ask me, do you regret this? This is the best time of my life. This made me understand and be able to quantify each and every part of my business.
Tawfiq, with this inspiration and this empire that you built in Brand for Less, I believe that you faced a lot of struggles at the beginning.
Yeah.
Would you share with us what are the biggest struggles that you faced while building Brand for Less?
Of course, at the beginning, you have to be extremely careful with money. And the most important thing is your profitability and your continuity, especially if your capital is limited. Everything that you make from the business, you have to reinvest it in the business. And it's going to be for a very long time. And it's going to be on the expense of everything. On the expense of your comfort, on the expense of your family, and on the expense of your children, on the expense of your vacations, on the expense of your travel, on the expense of your enjoyment, amusement, everything. It's business. You will sleep business, you will wake up business. That's the only thing that should be on your mind. And at the beginning, we went through a lot of difficulties, of course. It was an uphill battle. First of all, the idea that we were introducing to this part of the world, we were the pioneers. And we are proud and happy to be the people who laid the canvas of such a business or such an industry. It's the off-price retail. And it was very difficult at the beginning in all aspects. First of all, the idea, we had to educate people about what is an off-price. And it was an uphill battle. Due to the fact that, especially in our part of the world, people are into the conspiracy theory. Why is the brand very cheap?
Exactly.
Is it fake? Is it used? You buy it by kilo, you buy it by ton. All of these are not true whatsoever. We are part of the cycle of the product. We buy merchandise, we clear stores and we clear warehouses for the brand to be able to get the new collection for the new season. We are part of the business cycle. And for you to give this message to the people at the beginning, it was an uphill battle. In addition to that, you cannot start a business and start employing an accountant, a helper, a cleaner, a salesperson, a cashier, etc., and you sit and watch. This is not how you build your business, especially if you don't have capital. I had to start. I talk about my own experience. When I started, it was 1 year until I hired the first sales lady. So I used to open the store in the morning. I used to close the store in the night by myself, close the store at the night. I used to clean the store. I used to be the cashier. I used to be the salesman. I used to be the warehouse keeper. I used to be the delivery driver in the car, in the trunk of the car, going to the warehouse in Sharjah, putting the items there, bringing them, ironing them myself, and putting them on the shelves. So, you will ask me, do you regret this? This is the best time of my life. This made me understand and be able to quantify each and every part of my business. So no one can take you for a ride in the future because you know the ins and outs of the business. You done everything with your own hand. You know how many pieces should be prepared. You know how many hours you should spend. You know everything. And after 1 year, yes, I hired the first sales lady. I was the happiest man on the planet at that day because I have an employee. I'm a boss now. I have one employee. And, the feeling was unbelievable, to be very frank with you. But I stayed making sure to put the money together and to increase the business and reinvest. And this is the most important thing.
Tawfiq, just moving from oil company, big company, and doing this with all of yourself, with all of your effort. Did you think for a moment that how people perspective about you could be just moving from a corporate and doing everything by yourself? Did you have these fears inside your mind that maybe someone will come from a company and say, oh, you are doing this alone, did you leave this company? Did you have these fears before?
I didn't have these fears. I had these experiences. For at the beginning of the business, of course, your friends, the people that you have to shut off yourself from the whole world. You and your objective. You close your ears, you close your eyes about the whole society around you, and you focus. It's perseverance, hard work, perseverance. You know what you are doing. You go and set your yearly goals. And every time you're gonna be able to achieve the goal of this year, you cannot imagine what power it will give you to go and achieve the goal of next year.
Did you, when you start this store in UAE and working alone, did you have any doubts that you said to yourself, I need to shut it down and I need to come back to the corporate?
Listen, I give credit to a lot of people in my life. I give credit to my partner and my best friend Yasser, who we lived the whole experience day by day. I give credit, of course, to God for giving me the right path and the right things in my life. I give credit to the prayers of my mother always. One thing I give credit to myself is I never gave up.
Amazing, Tawfiq. So, with this success that you have in Brand of Less, I believe that you have a secret formula behind this. Either it's in business or in life. What is this secret formula that you have?
The secret formula is very simple. You have to always live as a humble fighter in both home and work. Stay humble and remain a fighter, and surround yourself with people who love you. Just try to ignore all the haters, try to ignore all the people who don't give you love. And for me, my kids are my kingdom. These are these are my life. The 4 kids that I have, they are the most precious thing to me in my life.
I love your ideas on social media. I always open this when I have, notification on TikTok. I always open and I am so intrigued just to see what are you going to say. Always creative, always inspired, always authentic. How did you plan your content and how did you plan this creativity and the innovation in your content?
Believe it or not, and maybe most people will not believe, we do it on the spot. There is nothing, I'm serious, there is nothing being prepared ahead of time. The only thing that is being prepared is I have this guy who helps me with the social media. He goes and he looks for trends and he advised me that, we have this trend now, it's trending, this trend, and he shows me, say, okay, this yes, this no, okay, let's do this and that, and we do it. The rest, it comes like very natural, like no planning, zero planning.
No content strategy.
No content, nothing. We just go there and we start shooting.
It's lovely because I thought that you're planning ahead, like maybe the 1 month or 2 months of content.
Zero. And what we do is we shoot 2 to 3 times a week, and we keep it fresh.
It's inspiring. So, in that manner, do you face any time that you regret about something while you're doing your business, and you want to come back in that time and change it?
Okay, regarding regrets, I don't have any regrets, to be very frank with you. The only regret I would have is maybe the lost time that I should have spent more with my kids. But if I go back by time, I will not do it again. I will focus again on the business. And I know at the end of the day, everything has an expense. And this was the expense, and it's always going to be the expense of your success especially if you're starting a startup, I will do the same again, because I know today I can make my kids much more happy and they feel more secure.
I believe that one of the biggest struggles for most entrepreneurs is balancing their time or just using their time. Do you have any advice for those entrepreneurs to avoid sometimes the burnout that they can face in the future based on your whole experience?
Employees and already established entrepreneurs can think about this. Non-established startups, new entrepreneurs should never ever think about this.
So I mean, entrepreneurs, they will be in this cycle because of their passion.
It's
They
gonna
have to-
be an imbalanced life. This is, I can guarantee you that.
If we have some entrepreneurs that they're listening to us right now, they have great ideas, tried a lot of times, trying to find their customers, trying to pitch, but for somehow it's not working. And this is the moment that they want to raise the white flag on themselves or just to give up on their idea. What are your advices for them to keep them always in the game based on your experience?
If the factors and the basis of their business makes sense, and they want to give up because they find it difficult, or they find it pressing, or they find it they have lost the work-life balance, I tell them never give up. It's always at the beginning, it's going to be the most difficult time, and you will never ever cross to the other side before you go through this hell. You have to go through hell for you to reach heaven. This is the only way in business.
Thank you, Tawfiq, for your lovely time. I believe I'm overdosed by the values and
Thank you.
inspired by your story.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best. I'm sure that we're talking about 36 cities and we're talking about 86 stores. I believe that Brand for Less will go for a global by your vision and with your inspiration. Keep going, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Unleash is the bridge between my purpose and my mission. And my mission is unleashing the human greatness to its utmost potential.